Hello guys and welcome to my new video. So today I was going to do a video mainly focused on Resto Druid tier 20 versus tier 19. So this is a question that I get a lot on the stream, basically people coming in telling me I've got two pieces of tier 20, the new set. Do I swap out the tier 19 4 set? Do I swap out the 2 set? Which one should I go with? What item level does the tier 20 have to be for me to swap out the tier 19? These questions are actually very prevalent in the stream, and this video hopefully is going to shed some light onto this. So because Resto Druid stat weights, or the stats that you want to really get, are very kind of similar to each other. They're very highly dependent on the fight, highly dependent on how many healers you have. Mastery is by default a progression stat. If people are going to be taking a lot of damage, Mastery is going to be very good, especially with the meme spec. I made a video a few days ago about a meme spec that's available with tier 19 4 set, Legendary Shoulders, Germination build, and Dark Moon deck promises. You can check it out. That build right now is the best build to go coming into Tomb of Sargeras without the tier 20 pieces. So what happens if I do get the tier 20 pieces? The new tier 20 by itself, the 2 set, reduces Swiftman cooldown if you heal someone low. Pretty terrible. The 2 set by itself is pretty terrible. Under no circumstances you should break the tier 20. You should use the tier 22 piece to replace tier 19 4 set. Why? Because tier 19 4 set is not only the 4 set value itself. First of all, tier 19 4 set in most scenarios is gonna do more than tier 20. The tier 24 set increases your Swiftman healing, increases your efflorescence healing every time you Swiftmend. It is kind of favoriting, or it's better for fights where a lot of people are stacked up. It can work for maidens and things like that, but the tier 22 set should never be swapped out to replace tier 19 4 set. Not only because tier 19 4 set itself is going to work better in most scenarios, because it requires you to do nothing. It just gives you a free rejuvenation. That free rejuvenation works super well with the Legendary Shoulders, Amathul's Wisdom. So you have this synergy with tier 19 here, and you got the Legendary Shoulders here, and they work really well together. Not only giving you the tier 19 4 set bonus, but also the Legendary Shoulder bonus. Having one of those, only having tier 19 4 set or not having tier 19 4 set, your Legendary Shoulders become kind of bad and you don't want to use your Legendary Shoulders anymore. If you only have the Legendary Shoulders and you don't have tier 19 4 set, you probably shouldn't be using the Legendary Shoulders. So they only are good together. So if you want to break this synergy, you better get a good item level tier 24 set to break this apart. Why am I saying this? Because tier 20 under a lot of circumstances is not going to bring a huge amount of increase over tier 19. So you want to get a big, at the end of the day you want to get at least some item level increase for your tier 20 over the tier 19. At the end, like, if you are super lucky, if you do 9 hold mythics right now, and I know loot can Titan Forge up to like 940 or 950 from what I remember. If you can get 940 tier 19, it's going to be like you're just going to raid with tier 19 for the whole of Tomb of Sargeras. So that's I'm saying, like, the synergy with tier 19 and the Legend Shoulders is just crazy right now. So if you want to break that apart, the dream is to get a really high tier 20. Each pieces get at least like 5 item level upgrade, probably more than that for each tier pieces to actually replace it. And then use tier 20 4 set and tier 19 2 set. And you can almost kind of work in the new Soul of the Archdruid ring into it. It still needs to be tested. There's still need to be testing to be done with it. Right now, do not lose item level over tier 20. That's just not going to work. The way that Resto Druids right now, with the new tier set, everything's kind of messed up. You're not kind of like, oh man, I can't wait to get the new tier set, I can't wait to use it. It's not like that. It's not like that at all. Right now it's more like, is that big enough item level upgrade for me to swap out the tier 19. So depending on what item level you have, you should be looking at a decent item level upgrade if you want to break that holy meme spec build right now that's available and just making you press rejuvenation all the time. Which pieces are the best for tier 20? It all depends on what kind of balance you have. So like I said before, you want to keep a balance of 20% crit, 20% haste, 20% mastery, and 5% versatility. So which I know tier 20 is actually very heavy on versatility. At the end of the day, most of the time item level is going to be a king, unless you really have something like crit super low, like you have 15% of crit, or you have like 30% of crit. You want to either reduce that or remove that. So you want to base your tier 20 pieces on that. There really isn't a biz list for Resto Druids, because all the stats are really good for each other, or for Resto Druids. So you want to it's going to be really hard for me to tell you which pieces you should be using, what item, like how much of an item level tier 20 have to be, because again, stat weight's also gonna change per fight basis. There are going to be fights where mastery is going to be better. There are going to be fights where crit is going to be better. So it's really hard for me to actually tell you. The short version of this video is try and get a decent item level upgrade with tier 20. I'm going to say at least 5 to 10 item levels per piece. 5 to 10 item levels per piece over your tier 19 to get like an increase in healing. Because again, by replacing tier 19 4-piece, not only you're replacing the tier, you're replacing Amatil's Wisdom. You're probably no longer going to be really running Germination for all of the fights in Tomb of Sargeras. And by not running Germination, you probably won't be using Dark Moon Deck Promises Trinket. So you're breaking the meme spec. So in order to break this meme spec, try and get as high item level as you can. I'm going to try to do more testing and see if I can actually give you a more concrete answer. But right now, a big upgrade is required to really break this meme spec build, which you can check out in my previous videos a few days ago. And again, thank you guys for watching this little reaction overview guide to how the tiers are working out for Resto Druids. Let me know how you feel. Let me know if you have the tier 24 piece. Let me know how your efflorescence is healing. Do you like it? Do you enjoy it? Or maybe you even seen a decrease in healing by replacing your tier 19 4 set. Let me know how you feel in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video.